Why apex predators from across the galaxy see something familiar in human eyes. The first time I saw it, I thought it was a trick of the light. The human soldier sat motionless in the arena, weapon discarded, chest heaving with exertion. Opposite him was the Thrask beast, 3 meters of coiled muscle and killing instinct. Its jaws could sever armored limbs. Its claws could flay a warrior in one strike. No being alive would stand unarmed against it. And yet, the human did. Not just standing, but staring. His eyes, small by galactic standards, were locked on the Thrask with unblinking focus. For long moments, predator and prey faced one another across the dirt. But what unsettled me and what made the Thrask hesitate was that the gaze of the human did not speak of prey. It spoke of hunger. Of recognition. The Thrask snarled, tested forward, and then it stopped. Its tail lashed the ground, its hackles rose, but it did not pounce. Instead, for the first time in recorded memory, a Thrask beast backed away. And every predator species in the council chamber felt a chill. The eyes of the hunter. Humans are strange. Too soft-skinned to be apex predators, too cunning to be simple prey. For cycles we debated their classification. The prey species called them allies, fragile but loyal. The predator species mocked them, dismissing their claws and fangs as useless relics of evolution. But we could not ignore the eyes. When a human stares, it is not a passive act. Their gaze is heavy, like a blade resting on your throat. Their pupils contract and expand in ways that mirror our own when hunting. Their focus locks, unrelenting, as though they have already plotted the paths of your death. It is something we know intimately, because we see it in one another. When a predator species meets a rival, there is a silent understanding. One of us will kill, the other will die. No words needed, no claws yet raised. The decision begins in the eyes. And humans carry that same fire. The experiment. The council could not leave it untested. They designed an experiment, one I now regret agreeing to observe. Representatives from 7 predator races were gathered, each to face a human in a controlled chamber. No weapons. No words. Only eye contact. The first was a Carol duelist, scales thick, body coiled with reptilian power. He strode into the chamber with pride. The human sat waiting, calm. They locked eyes. Seconds became minutes. Sweat gathered along the Carol's jaw. His tail, once rigid with dominance, twitched with unease. The chamber's silence thickened. And then, shame of shames, he broke the stare and looked away. The human only smiled. Next came a Fenkri huntress, feathers flared in challenge. She thought herself immune. But when she met the human's gaze, her wings trembled. She hissed, feathers collapsing, and she too averted her eyes. One by one, predators entered. One by one, they failed. Not because the humans attacked. Not because they spoke. But because in those small, forward-facing eyes lay something every predator knew, the reflection of their own hunger. Stories from the field. Long before the experiment, whispers had already spread. A VRYK shock trooper told of a battle where his squad had cornered a human medic. No weapons. No chance of survival. And yet the medic did not run. She looked at them with the eyes of one who had measured the odds and still chosen to fight. The VRYK hesitated. A squad bred only for slaughter paused because of one unarmed human. The medic lived. A Mirren raider spoke of a human child who stared at him from behind a barricade. Too small to be a threat. But the gaze, that unblinking defiance, froze him long enough for defenders to arrive. Even among apex predators, instincts are powerful. We are not creatures of reason in those moments. We are creatures of reflex. And reflex told us, this is not prey. The scientists report. The council summoned Dr. Tern, a xenobiologist who had spent years on Earth. He explained what few of us wanted to believe. Humans evolved surrounded by predators, he said. They were prey, hunted relentlessly. To survive, they learned two things: fear and defiance. They developed the stare. A warning to lions, wolves, bears: I see you. I will fight you. You may kill me, but I will not flee. The prey races shivered at the thought. To them, the stare was madness. To predators, it was the oldest language we knew. Dr. Tern concluded with a single sentence that silenced the chamber. Humans are prey who learned to borrow the eyes of predators. A predator's recognition. Among predator species, dominance is clear. The eyes settle it before claws strike. When two hunters meet, they know instantly who holds the advantage. But with humans, the calculus falters. Their bodies do not match the message of their gaze. Fragile, yet unyielding. Wounded, yet defiant. Their eyes lie, or perhaps they tell a deeper truth. The truth that they will not stop. And that is why predators fear them. Not because they are strongest, but because they refuse to be prey. They will rise again, again, and again, until their rivals falter. The Council's decision. After weeks of debate, the Council announced its findings. Humans were not to be classified as prey, nor predator. They were something in between, something dangerous in its refusal to fit. But among predators, the decision had already been made. We knew the truth. When we looked into human eyes, we saw kin, rivals, equals, sometimes even superiors. Epilogue. The bar. Years after the Thrask incident, I found myself in a station bar on the Rim. A human sat across from me, tired but smiling, drink in hand. I am viewer of the Ashka, a predator whose gaze has broken warlords. On impulse, I met his eyes. The noise of the bar faded. My heart quickened. For an instant, I saw not a fragile mammal, but the echo of a rival predator across the ages. Someone who would never lower their gaze, never submit, never flee. I looked away first. The human only chuckled and raised his glass. And I finally understood why apex predators across the galaxy whisper the same thing when they speak of humans. In their eyes, we see ourselves.